Alright, so next we would like to look at the declaration. So let's open declaration, right? So we can start this with chapter, right? So we have declaration, right? And we can add this command, add content line, table of content, session, and declaration, right? We are actually introducing this command because one thing about the chapter in using the chapter in the front matter is that it cannot count this when you are dealing with chapters in front matter. So in order to ignore the numbering in front matter doesn't actually count the chapters, right? So it for you to be able to operate or deal with this work, in order to have this appear in your table of content, then you have to make use of the add line content line instead of the main chapter, right? If you just use this, you have an error. So it's appropriate to bring the asterisks because we don't normally use the chapter in the front matter environment, right? So that's the basic idea behind putting the asterisks, right? So let's continue. So we have this command so that at least we can have access of this in the table of content, right? We want to have access to the declaration in the table of content. So now we can I don't know the kind of declaration that your institution prefers, but I'm going to declare based on the what I'm used to, right? So I hereby declare that this submission is my own work towards the award of MPhil mathematical statistics, right? MPhil mathematical statistics, all right? MPhil mathematical statistics, and that to the best of my knowledge, it contains no material previously published by another person, nor that which had been accepted for the award of any other degree of the university, right? Of the university, except where due acknowledge, except where due acknowledgement had been made in the test, right? So let's see this. Let's look at how it will look like. Okay, so here we go. So that's the declaration, right? All right, but let me add this before we proceed. You can see with the spacing is very close, Normally we normally prefer using double spacing, so let me go back to my preamble and add this package set space, right? Sorry, use package set space. This is going to help me to space out my document. So I would like to start it in the front matter. So I want the spacing to affect my whole document. So we have double spacing, we have single spacing, right? We have single spacing, we have 1/2 spacing, 1/2 spacing, right? So the one which you are comfortable with, you can go with it, or the one that your school requires, you can just choose. I'm gonna make use of double spacing, right? So now let's build and view. All right, so this look quite better, right? All right, so we see some space in here. We don't want this, right? We want from the title, we should move straight to declaration without any space. So let's try to ignore that. Let's use open any. If you don't know the meaning of this, I think in my first tutorial on LaTeX, I made mention of this, and we have the function of all the document class. So I'll urge you to watch that video if you haven't watched before you jump into this, right? Okay, so let's proceed. Let's make use. All right, so now we don't see that, right? So now from this, we jump straight to declaration without any space in between, right? We are good to go, but I think there's one more thing I have to add under the declaration. So let's go back to declaration, begin quote. Let me use the quote environment to get my work done. So I'm gonna use tabular, right? Tabular, tabular. I need 3 columns, so left, center, center. Basically, let me underline this part. My name, Eric Tai Mensa, right? Then let's create L dots, right? Let me create this L dots, right? Line dots. I need 7 of them. But before that, let me space out. We use this command, the code, right, to space, right? That's to give some horizontal space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 dots. I'm gonna copy the same thing for the last column. So let's go to the last column here. That's the same. Let's close this line. Now let's look at who am I? Am I a student? Right. So let's space out code. Right, code. Right. Then let's give another space, code. Then I think we have to get our signature. Then in the last, we need let me copy this. We need a date, right? So date, right? So let's close this line, right? So let me copy this. So before the name, you need someone to satisfy your supervisor, right? So certification satisfied by um, so we need the details. Let's say Professor JAJ, right? Who is your supervisor? Then we are good to go. Then we also need your HOD to testify on your behalf. So satisfied by Professor HOD. So head of department need to come. Head of department. Right. So should be good to go. Alright, let's preview this. Okay, I think this person we have to space out, right? Vertical space, 1 centimeter should be okay. I want a space between this, so let's. Okay, so I think we are good to go. So that's where the declaration part, right?